Nope. Yep, what's going on YouTube? Too Shiny here. You already know the business.
If it rhymes, that's when you know it's true.
If you're not living for Jesus, you're not living at all, man. Yeah, it's funny that I keep saying that that I was done with the channel, I was done with this, and I was done with that, and then I just keep, news keeps coming out. Like, this is the wrong time for me to be trying to like close down the channel, because I mean, every time I come on here, or say I'm about to like leave or something like that, something major happens and I have to come back on here and talk about it. But yeah, the PlayStation 5 has been revealed as of this video. I talked about a lot of games on this current gen, but then now we're switching over so quickly because I mean nobody was expecting this, because of course we're going through this quarantine and stuff like that still. So people can't really congregate. They didn't even have the traditional conference like they always have it every year at E3. E3 wasn't even like, E3 was completely canceled because of the quarantine. So we actually, of course they had to like live stream the whole thing from GameSpot and from other gaming outlets. And of course I only saw the live stream after I actually finished work, so I had to come back, and I was real late from actually being able to see the live stream live. So yeah, but with all the shenanigans aside, we're basically going to be talking about why I do not endorse or support or even excited for next gen. And here's why. Now, when I watched the live stream, me and my brother, we watched the live stream. I watched some of the games that they had to show off of GameSpot. Literally, the first game they showed off was GTA 5. GTA 5, as we all know, is one of the biggest selling games of all time. Undisputedly, hundreds of millions of copies. Is a game that has tested time. Literally one game that has tested time, that's been ported through, now what is it, 2 times? It literally released on the PlayStation 3, and now we're talking about porting it over to the PlayStation 4, and people are still playing it like it's brand new. I get it. I get the appeal. I get what they're trying to do. I get what they're trying to go with this. But I don't know why that would be the first thing you show at a PlayStation 5 game reveal. Like, what are they thinking? Like, it's not like we didn't expect this to be the case. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was expecting, the biggest games in gaming to end up being ported over to the PlayStation 5. Like, nobody was disputing that. You know what I'm saying? But here it is, the very first game in the lineup. They want to pander us with this GTA 5 stuff. I feel bad for those that were actually expecting GTA 6 anyway. But that's not the only thing they showed, of course. They showed off the Ratchet and Clank. I thought the Ratchet and Clank was really great. It's good. I think it really needs to be put down for a while. I don't know why we're still playing Ratchet and Clank in, the 3rd generation after its initial release on the PlayStation 1, but I digress. Then they showed off the Miles Morales trailer. That was probably the most exciting part of the entire conference or live stream or whatever you want to call it. Miles Morales meaning the next Spider-Man in the series. If you played the Marvel Spider-Man PS4 on the PlayStation 4, you know about Miles Morales, and that he was He was pretty much playable throughout the game. If you play through the game, you know he's playable, and you know what happens to his father and stuff like that. It motivates him to be a hero and to step up and be the next Spider-Man. Or I don't know if he's going to be the replacement or he's going to be a sidekick. I have no idea. I didn't watch what's it called? I don't know what the other movie was, but it's nice to see him take like a leading role in his own game. I didn't think that was going to make him the main character, but I digress. Then they actually showed off Hitman 3. I knew there was going to be a Hitman 3. I played Hitman 2 a little while. I thought it was pretty good. When I first played it, it was so fun and things like that. But I knew there was going to be a Hitman 3, but I was not expecting that to be the case. I didn't think it was going to be a launch title, but it is what it is. We knew this stuff was coming. I knew Horizon was coming. I knew all these games were coming. It was only a matter of time, but I didn't think they were going to end up being launch titles. You know what I'm saying? But well, I don't think Hitman's a launch title. I think Hitman's coming out. I think it's in 2021 or something like that. But it doesn't matter really. But as you can see, as you can tell, I'm talking very nonchalantly at the moment. Because people don't realize that. All these games were expected. When they dropped the PlayStation 4, they dropped completely new IPs that nobody knew was coming, like Final Fantasy 15, Kingdom Hearts 3. These games that no one knew they were coming. Final Fantasy 7 Remake, nobody knew that was coming. Everyone thought that was a myth and all those kinds of things. They really dropped some like surprises on us. But here we are with the PlayStation 5, and we know exactly what's going to be on there. They even showed like a gaming list where Fortnite. They showed that Fortnite is going to be on there. I'm like, why is Fortnite even on the list? Like, why is Fortnite on there? We know Fortnite is going to be on the PlayStation 5. Like, come on, man. It's it's a free to play game. Most people that play Fortnite don't even have the game, including myself. We just play the free to play version. It's the same as having the game. Most people don't even play the campaigns of shooter games anyway, unless you're talking about Uncharted or Resident Evil or something like some sort of third-person shooter like that. But most people don't even care for the campaign. They like to jump online. But this is part of the reason why I said, this generation might end up being a flop. From what I'm seeing, it might be a flop. It really might be a flop because a lot of people, even including myself, were expecting like completely new IPs. I know this is just the beginning. Of course they showed off the NBA 2K21, but it's just Zion doing a dunk and then that's it. I'm not really like super stoked about that. It is what it is, I guess. And from the looks of 2K20, I'm not even really that excited for 21. Like honestly, I bought that game. I bought the deluxe edition of 20, and I ended up returning the game literally like weeks later. So after I purchased VC, might I add. So I'm kind of salty about that. But yeah, overall, this event was absolutely eye-opening, and see what the console actually looks like. My brother, he made a comment that the console kind of looks like a book for some reason. And then I saw the DualShock. What is it? DualShock 5. Interesting name for the controller. The controller looks like it caters more to the Xbox. Xbox fans out there. I don't know why it looks like an Xbox controller. It looks so bulky. It doesn't even. Every time we go through each generation, it looks less and less like a PlayStation controller. It looks more and more like an Xbox controller, as you saw with the PlayStation 4. It just didn't look like anything remotely like a PlayStation. It just got more and more bulky over time, and here we are. It looks like an Xbox controller. They showed off the headsets. They showed off the camera that they have. I don't remember the last time I used my PlayStation 4 camera. Nobody uses the PlayStation 4 camera, bro. Nobody uses that. So, that it's interesting to see what they're gonna do for the PlayStation 5 camera. But ain't nobody gonna use that, honestly. So, most hardware on the PlayStation brand ends up going like pretty well. Like they end up like, I guess, selling copies of people that don't really game like that. Like, let's say, oh, we got a new this, or we got a new touchscreen, or we got a new whatever. Your average consumer is gonna be like, oh man, that's new and innovative. But that's usually just another like tactic that Sony and other big name companies use to like get the consumers attention, and then they scrap the whole idea later on. And then it's like a useless feature, and it's not really like needed. That's what they did with the what was it called, where you can move your controller on the PlayStation 3, because wireless was a new thing on the PlayStation 3. That was new, like it was a brand new concept, being able to take off the wireless cord and just play without a cord. And then you could also like I guess move your controller around and direct the game without a cord and things like that. That was a new thing for the PlayStation 3, I guess, for the DualShock 3. And in the PlayStation 4, they had the touchscreen that we all know about. And I guarantee you, not a single one of you guys actually use the touchscreen for anything. So unless the game has like a pause menu that you have to press the touchpad with, but other than that, you're not using the touchpad for nothing. It's a useless feature. So yeah, as we can see with the PlayStation 5, they're taking a more Xbox route with this controller, and I'm not sure where they're going with it. I don't know why they shaped it more like an Xbox controller. I don't know why they do have, it looks like they still have the share button and the pause button, or the options button on the PlayStation 4. It's pretty much the same layout. You have your touch screen, you have the share button and your options on the side. I'm not sure if there's a blue light. I haven't looked at it in depth. There should be a blue light just like the PlayStation 4. If there's not, it doesn't really matter. It's just a light. I don't know. I really don't know the specs of the PlayStation 5. I mean, me being a computer guy, I'm working at a phone repair place. We work on a whole bunch of different devices and things like that. I broke down a PlayStation 3 yesterday. I'm still in training, so I'm not an expert on everything, but we're still looking at specs and learning how to break down different devices and things like that. We're eventually going to end up having to look at this PlayStation 5 when somebody finally buys the first copy and then needs it to get repaired. But from what I can see, the PlayStation 5 looks pretty hefty. It looks pretty wide. It looks wider than the PlayStation 4 did. It has more like a round exterior on it, and it looks funky. I'll give it to you. Just give it to you straight. It looks kind of weird. And then this is the first time PlayStation is actually making a device that's not black. Have you noticed that? This is the first PlayStation device that is not black, other than the PlayStation, since the PlayStation 1. So PlayStation 1 was a gray exterior, so gray color. And the PlayStation 2 and 3 and 4 were all black. So that's just a fun fact, I guess. It's need to be added. So yeah, it has like a blue light inside of the screen. So whenever you turn on the PlayStation 5, there will be a blue light that goes throughout the middle of the console, which will let you know that the game is on. And I don't know if it turned white like the PlayStation 4 does or what. We'll have to see. But then, it wasn't over. They ended up showing off. Of course, they had the little headsets and then your HD camera that I talked about. But there was a second console that will be. I don't know if it'll be sold separately. Of course, it'll be sold separately. They have a digital version of the PlayStation 5, so we know about the digital age where everybody's just buying stuff online and nobody's going retail anymore. So they're going to end up just having a retail version of the PlayStation 5. And that's just the tip of the iceberg for this console. I don't know about the Xbox. We're not here to talk about the Xbox, and obviously I feel like it looks stupider than it did when they did the Xbox One. I got a lot. If y'all want me to talk about the Xbox, I can talk about the Xbox, but you gotta let me know in the comment section below. But that's just it's interesting that they've stayed faithful. They ended up calling it a PlayStation 5 instead of a PlayStation Series Project 5. No, they just said PlayStation 5, but it's a PlayStation 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's simple. It's not a hard concept, Xbox. It's not a hard concept, Microsoft. What are y'all doing? But anyway, with all this stuff being said, all the hype, all the people talking about, the games that are coming out, somehow, some way, I'm the most unexcited I've ever been for any new generation of games. And that right there is saying something. When I ended up getting the PlayStation 2, I was mad excited. I was a kid. Getting the PlayStation 3, mad excited. PlayStation 4, the most excited I have ever been for a console in my life. And here we are with the PlayStation 5, and I've never felt so underwhelmed in my life. I can't believe. I don't know why. I just feel like this generation is not for me. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the games. I don't know if it's the console, but there is just something off about this PlayStation 5 and even the Xbox Series X, which I honestly have my own opinion about. It seems like this generation just won't be what I expect it to be. And I don't even know if I even get the console or not. And as you can see, Final Fantasy 7 is on the screen right now. Final Fantasy 7 Remake. So that's really the only purpose that the PlayStation 5 has, because of course the game is going to be multi-part. So they're gonna have to have new software or new hardware, not software, but hardware to put the the Final Fantasy 7 Remake onto the new console. So they always want to have the best graphical fidelity for Final Fantasy 7 Remake. So it's not far-fetched that they're going to end up putting it on the PlayStation 5 eventually. But I think they're not going to jump over immediately because Square wants to still cater to that PlayStation 4 audience. It's easier to just port it over to the PlayStation. Not port it, but to continue with the PlayStation 4 brand and to finish off the Final Fantasy 7 Remake series of games. We still don't know how many games there are, or there will be. But you guys heard my side of it. You heard my take on it. I'm not really that excited for this generation. I don't even know if I even get a PlayStation 5. But if I do, bruh, you know what I'll be playing. I'll be playing that Spider-Man game with Miles Morales. I'll be playing the Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Those are really the two games that I can give you, off the bone. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I might look at Fortnite, see how it looks how Fortnite looks on the PlayStation 5 and things like that. Look at all the specs and see how the thing breaks down and things like that. But I thank you guys for watching the video. Absolutely stoked to hear that they are making a PlayStation 5 in the first place. I'm not too hyped for anything else that they announced, but we'll see what they do in the future. Thank you guys for watching the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Comment down in the comment section below for new videos and contents, because I need ideas. Let me know what you want me to talk about in the gaming community. Whatever, I'll talk. Heck, I'll even talk about George Floyd. Just do your thing in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.